Great. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to our Monday night Rising Tide Success Zoom. Thank you so much for hopping on the call tonight. I'm actually zooming in from AIT Tulum. I just got here a couple hours ago, and it's Mexican Independence Day. So there's also a big party going on downstairs in about a half hour. So I committed to our training series. So I wanted to make sure that I showed up for you, showed up for my business, showed up for myself, and stuck with the scheduled programming. So we are on week 3 of our training series. So last 2 weeks ago, we talked about prospecting or inviting. And then last week we talked about presenting. And tonight I'm going to talk a little bit about closing and how to handle objections. Before I do that, just some really quick housekeeping. We have the oh my gosh, I just spaced out. The 3500 to district manager. What's it called again? What to
Power
district?
to the M.
Power
Power to
to
the
DM. Thank you. So we have that this month. So if you have not yet promoted to district manager, now would be a really great month to do that. We had the Fizz sale that just ended yesterday, and then today kicked off the additional 15% the Derm Results Advanced set, as well as a sale on the hair care. So all kinds of great promotions, incentives, reasons, excuses to reach out to people, especially for people that may have been on the fence for the Derm Results skincare set. This is just a really great time that you can get an additional discount. And just remember also the tiered savings that we have. So I like to call it bronze, silver, gold. So for preferred clients, the bronze package, if you will, is 150 minimum SRP, and that's going to unlock free shipping. 250 SRP is going to unlock free shipping and a free gift from the free gift list. And then 300 SRP is going to unlock the free shipping, the free gift, and waive the $29 registration fee. So it's a really great time to do some follow-ups, reach out to people, communicate, serve them, let them know what's available, because we've got some really great promotions going on. So I am going to jump right into our topic. So closing and conquering the close and common objections. And for those of you that maybe you're new to our calls, or I haven't mentioned this to you yet, I'm actually taking like our training series pretty much directly from this book. I'm curating it and making it my own. But if you have not yet read this book, The Multiply Method by Sarah Robbins, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. So I'm basically using each chapter as a training topic for the next, what is it, like 9 or 10 weeks? I forgot how many it was, but basically, taking a chapter from each book and sharing it with you all in our series. So this is our 3rd week of the series. So if you've made it this far, first of all, congratulations, because that tells me that you're not just dabbling, that you're probably serious about your business. And I can see that those of you who showed up either live on the recording, I know you're not dabbling, you're serious. You've already started maybe implementing the best practices for prospecting, inviting. You've probably gotten people into your funnel. You've shared your story. You've been planting seeds. So here comes the big question. How do you actually get someone to say yes? Right? How do we close and enroll them into our business? So that's what today's training is going to be about. And let me just be super honest right from the start. This is the part where most people freeze. They're great at sharing. They're great at inviting. They love talking about the products. Maybe they're even great at presenting. But guess what? I have news for you. We don't get paid to present, although we have to do a lot of presentations. The best presenter is not the one, who's always making the most money. But when it comes to ask for the decision, this is where a lot of us hesitate. We're afraid to feel pushy. We don't want to get rejected. And I get it, because I was the same way. Not the same way anymore, but I was. So I just want to share with you that it took me actually 5 months to enroll my very first business partner. Okay. And they didn't last very long. Full confession, like I actually paid for the registration fee because I was just so desperate for somebody to join me. And by the way, I don't recommend that you do that. People need to have skin in the game. right? So that's what I did. I'm just telling you the truth because I was just like, please, somebody just like say yes to me. So they didn't last long. It's, I'm not surprising. So, it was really difficult for me in the beginning. So I don't want to say that to discourage you. I just want to say it really to encourage you, because if you're feeling a little frustrated, there's nothing wrong with you. We're in a sorting business, and we also need to learn a system. And what I really love about what we do with Arbonne, it's really been getting clear to me, like just thinking about like a typical franchise model. We're digital franchises, right? But in a typical franchise model, essentially when somebody buys a franchise, they're not just buying the product. What they're really buying is the brand and the system. So we're learning how to simplify a system here. So once you really learn how to simplify the system, your business will multiply and everything will shift. So I realized that closing is not about convincing. When you enroll someone in Arbonne and when you convince someone to do Arbonne, how they behave in their Arbonne business is completely different. So this is not about convincing. It's not about tricking someone to to do it. It's really about serving. So let me just explain what I mean. So when I had my restaurant, Pocha, people came in hungry, right? They didn't always know exactly what they wanted. They might say like, what's good? What do you recommend? And it was my job to just guide them. I would say, if you are plant-based, like the vegan chile relleno, I highly recommend. Our guacamole is the best you've ever had. I love the taquitos de papa. Maybe if we had something that was like seasonal, I would share what's, fresh today if we had like a special. And most of the time they would say, perfect, that sounds great. I'll take that. So closing in Arbonne is really the same thing. People come to us hungry, but in a different way. They're hungry for more energy. Maybe they're hungry for better skin. Maybe they're hungry to lose weight in a healthy way or to feel better in their body. Some people are hungry for more time freedom. Maybe we're hungry for more flexibility and extra stream of income. And that's just like in the restaurant. Our job is to recommend the best fit. That's really not sales, that's service. And the funny thing is that when I had the restaurant and I would, be like, I guess upselling, it didn't I wasn't weirded out about it. It didn't feel weird to say did you want to start out with like a half kale cabbage salad? Did you want to start out with like an appetizer to share, maybe some guacamole? Like that didn't feel weird to me at all. And it actually made my Arbonne business a lot easier when I realized I'm just sharing things that I really love and that have worked for me. So hopefully, that helps you a little bit. So let's break down this simple closing system that I got from this book, but it's actually kind of what we've been doing anyways, but I'm just gonna, put it in some steps for you. So it seems a lot, more just clean and seamless. So I like to call it the three steps to close. So here they are. 1, we're going to identify an interest. 2, we're going to provide information and we're going to share the next steps. And 3, we're going to follow up and enroll. Super simple. So let's dig into each one just a little bit. So step 1, identify interest. Now, if you've shared your story and presented Arbonne well, you don't have to force this. It comes naturally. One of my favorite questions to ask after a presentation is, who do you know that this would be a great fit for? Or who do you know that this would be great for? Or I'll even ask do you have a personal interest in this? I've been loving asking that lately, because when I ask, do you have a personal interest in this? And they're maybe not so sure, I just say, great, who do you know that this would be a great fit for? And let me tell you, sometimes, yes, they do identify themselves. They'll laugh and say actually me, right? That's the best. But other times they might say, you know what? My sister's been really struggling with energy lately, or my friend's been looking for something like this. I mean, that's a win still, because it opens up referral. So the goal in step 1 isn't to pressure. It's just to find out, are they open? Do they see themselves in the picture? That's it. Step 2, provide information and share next steps. So, okay, so now that you've identified, that they're interested, they said that they're interested, they said that they're open to taking a look, what do you do? This is where most people overcomplicate things, but it's really simple. If someone's interested in the products, they're going to say, I might say something like, great, let's do a quick consultation. I've actually been saying consultation lately. And remember, we are independent consultants. We consult. So I'll ask if you could change one thing about your skin or your energy or your nutrition, what would it be and why? So that question is gold because it helps them voice their need. And once they say it out loud, you get to be the guide. So for example, if somebody says, oh my gosh, my digestion's really like all over the place, I'll say, okay, I highly recommend starting with our Green Synergy Elixir or our bundle with the Green Synergy and the our Fizz, or maybe the Essentials bundle. So the Essentials bundle, let's take that for an example. That's one of our best sellers. That's like one of our core nutrition lines, right? Those 3 products, the Fizz, the Green Synergy, the protein, and I love to throw in a detox tea, but that's, as I'm having the consultation, that's where I might say, do you want to start out with an appetizer to share, right? Do you want to also throw in the detox tea? Same thing, same idea. I hope that makes sense. So the way that I get people started, I just say it's really simple. It's $29 to become a preferred client. That gives you 20 to 40% off for the entire year, free shipping on orders over $150, access to promos and specials. It's just a great loyalty membership with all kinds of perks. And I will share, a little bit about the bronze, silver, gold, and the different ways that they can unlock different savings. But then I'll validate and I'll say, so many people in our community are just loving the system. I've seen my own energy improve, my skin clear up. I know you're going to love this too. So I'm talking about the Essentials bundle, right? I'm just making this up as an example for you. So now here's where a lot of people miss the opportunity. You have to ask for the decision. Don't leave it open-ended. Maybe say something like, here's the best part. We have a 90-day money-back guarantee, so you literally have nothing to lose. Do you want me to get you started now? And then stop talking. That little question is everything. Do you want me to get you started now? That's the close. Do you want me to get you started now as a preferred client? Do you want me to get you started now as an independent consultant? That's the close. Now, if they're interested in the business, my language is going to shift a little bit, but I'll say, great. Do you want to know what the next step is? I love asking people that. Do you want to know what the next step is? And you can ask people that as you are going through your process with them. Would you like to know what the next step is? Would you like to know what the next step is? So just find those spaces where it feels comfortable to say, great, do you want to know what the next step is? So if they're ready, I'll tell them, it's $65 to be an independent consultant. That gives you your own Arbonne website, the ability to earn commissions as soon as you get started. And then I'll walk them through the step-by-step on how to get started. So I know I'm totally simplifying this, but I want to simplify it. That's it. Keep it simple. Don't fire hose them with information. I was guilty of this for so long. I would want to give everybody all the information. And by the time I gave them all the information, they found one reason to not do it, right? So less is more. Your goal is not to answer every question on the spot. Your goal is to create curiosity and then move them to the next step. So number 3. Follow up and enroll. Okay, this is the last step. The fortune is in the follow-up. This is where you're going to handle objections, build trust, close the loop. By the way, as I'm sharing all of this with you, I'm assuming that you listened to call 1 from 2 weeks ago, call 2 from last week, and then this will make a lot more sense if you've listened to those other 2 calls, okay? Because I'm taking you through the system. So follow up. When I'm following up with people, I might ask them, what questions do you have? That way they drive the conversation. They'll tell you exactly what's holding them back. Sometimes it's time, sometimes it's money, Sometimes it's self-doubt. That's okay. We're going to talk about these objections in just a minute. But once I've answered those questions, I'll always bring it back to what I call the 2 ways to join. So there's really 2 ways to get started. The first way is as a preferred client, $29 to enroll, the 20% off to 40% off for a year, the free shipping on orders over 150, the 90-day money back guarantee, access to all the monthly promos. And the second way is as a consultant. $65 to enroll, you get the same perks plus your own website, the ability to earn commissions, qualify for bonuses, earn some trips, build a business. Which way sounds like the best fit for you right now? And pause. That's the hardest part. Pause. I let them answer. That question, which way sounds like the best fit for you right now? It's the entire close wrapped up in one sentence. Which way sounds like the best fit for you right now? So I know, this is very scripted what I'm sharing with you, but I'm just trying to help you kind of create an arsenal of sound bites, if you will, so that you can learn how to like weave this into your system, your process, your presentation, your close. Which way sounds like the best fit for you right now? Okay, so let's talk about handling objections. Now, we can't talk about closing without talking about objections because you're going to hear them, and that's not a bad thing. Objections really just mean they're interested. If they weren't interested, they wouldn't bother objecting, right? How many we get a lot of that, right? When people are just like not responding like crickets, they're not even objecting. Like, I appreciate a good no. Right? So when people aren't interested, they don't even bother objecting. They might not even say no, but they may, and they move on. So I actually welcome objections because it means that I get to serve just a little bit deeper. So of course, the 3 most common objections that we hear, what do we hear? I don't have time, right? I don't have money. I'm not a salesperson. Let's just go through those just one by one. So time, I'll say, I totally get it. I felt the same way. I was a new mom. I had just gone back to work after maternity leave. I was exhausted. I barely had time to wash my face at night, much less start a new business. I was juggling so many responsibilities and I was so overwhelmed. But what I found was that I could actually weave this into the nooks and crannies of my life. 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there, 5 minutes here, 20 minutes there. And before I knew it, those little pockets added up to something huge. And the beauty of this business is that once you build it, it pays you over and over and over. So instead of taking more time, it actually bought me more time. Okay, I don't have enough money. I might say something like, I hear you. I didn't have the money either. Maybe you'll say something like feel, felt, found. I know how you feel. I actually felt the same way. But what I found was if $65 was going to hold me back, I knew I needed to do something different. And here's the thing. You don't need to spend thousands. You can start small. Plug into our system and earn as you learn. I'm not a salesperson. I'll say perfect. Thank God. Neither am I. And honestly, that's why I love Arbonne. I don't feel like this is about selling. It's about sharing. It's about serving. It's about connecting people with solutions. You don't need a sales background. You just need a heart to help people. I actually like get concerned when people's like, oh my gosh, I can sell anything to anyone. I'm just like, okay, can you lead people? Can you build people? Do you care about people? Do you want to serve people? Because that's really the skills that translate here in Arbonne. Final thoughts. Okay. So let me leave you with this. Closing's not scary. Closing is serving. For me, the word closing, actually, I don't love the word closing. I think it's an opening. I think it's an opening to a relationship. It's an opening to build trust. When you shift your mindset from I'm trying to get them to I'm trying to help them, everything's changing. Everything changes. We're not trying to get anybody. We're here to serve people. We're here to help them with the solutions, that they might be looking for. Arbonne might be a way for them to bridge the gap between where they are and where they want to be. It might be a health solution, a nutrition solution, a skincare solution, but it's really about serving. So think of yourself as a guide. You're walking with them to the next step. Sometimes that next step is a preferred client. Sometimes it's a consultant. Sometimes it's not right now. And that's okay too. But it's your job to ask, to invite, and to serve. So it's your job to ask, which means to prospect, to invite, to present, to ask for a decision, to ask where they see themselves, client, connector, consultant, and to serve. And if you keep practicing this simple 3-step system, just pull the emotion out of it. You identify interest, you provide information, you offer the next steps, follow up, enroll, hopefully launch. This is what's going to help you grow your business. And if you're going to help a lot of people along the way, you're going to get really good at this by asking a lot of people, by inviting a lot of people, by connecting with a lot of people, by networking with a lot of people. Networking, by the way, is building relationships. It's not just like out there, like seeing like who can you get. It's building relationships, building rapport, connecting and conversing, earning trust, asking people to take a look, asking them who they might know, asking them if they might have a personal interest in this. But the more you do it, the more your business is going to grow. You're going to get more confident, you're going to get competent, and you're going to help a lot of people along the way. And that's really what conquering the close is about. It's really that simple. So I'm going to open it up to questions. I have a couple more minutes. I hope that was simple. I hope it was almost so elementary that you guys are just like, that's it. That's it. That's it. It should be so simple and so elementary that anybody can do it as soon as they sign up. We need to simplify things so much that as soon as somebody joins our team, they know exactly what to do. Recommend, share a link, right? Great. So anybody want to add anything or Claire, let me look through the chat really quick. Great. The recordings are on Rising Tide Nation Facebook page, Dawn. And if you don't have access to it, just ask whoever your upline is. We can give you access to it, or I can I'll put it in the text thread also. I'm not sure who you're connected to, but I'll make sure that you get those. Yeah. Name of the book, The Multiply Method. So simple. So it's like elementary. It's almost embarrassingly simple. And somebody who comes from like an experiential marketing background where I was paid to make a big splash out of everything, don't do that. That's a lot of work. Just make it really simple. We just have to talk to a lot more people, serve a lot more people, share this idea with a lot more people, and we'll get a lot better at it and a lot more confident, and we'll start having a lot more fun too. Because not doing Arbonne, like inactivity, actually is really stressful. But being in momentum and being activity is actually really fun. Doing Arbonne's pretty fun. Okay, so really quick, I think you had a question, Steph, and then I'll answer your question, Diane.
Thank you so much. First off, your hair. How cute is your hair?
Thanks. It's a little wet still, but thanks.
It's so cute. I love it so much as I love you. And I just wanted to add something. This was so good, so good, Claire. Thank you so much. And I wanted, as a word of caution, to really remind everybody to not decide for somebody else. Because sometimes that happens and you think, I know this person. I don't even want to ask them if they're interested because I know they're not because of all the things that you tell yourself about this other person. And the reality is that we have no idea what's going on behind closed doors. And I have been more surprised at the people who have said yes than I have at the people who've said no. People who have said yes have really surprised me. And it takes that moment of, I'm gonna like risk it. Ri just, I encourage you to risk feeling like maybe you're gonna be rejected by somebody who you think is too cool for school. Um, because it's such a, do you have a personal interest in this? In the old days, we would say on a scale of 1 to 5, where do you see yourself, or 1 to 10? It's a really important question to ask because to think that you know what somebody else is thinking is a, yeah, Dina Pickles like, yeah.
Mhm.
It's just it's a very, how on earth do we dare think that we know what other people need? Nobody's going to come tell. I mean, some people maybe will admit a desperate need in their life, but a lot of people keep that stuff close to their chest. So that's what
Yeah, and just really quick, I put it on gallery view. Um, I have a question, and if you can put your camera on, great. And if you can't, that's okay. But raise your hand if you're grateful for the person who introduced you to Arbonne, right? If it's good enough for us, it's good enough for them, right? I am not mad at the person who introduced me to Arbonne. I am not mad at the person who introduced me to Arbonne and quit 3 weeks later. I am not mad that I barely know that person that introduced me to Arbonne, came into my life simply to just change the set of my sail and get on her merry way. I am so forever grateful for that girl. So don't be afraid to offer this to people. People are desperately looking for something right now. People are looking for ways. There are layoffs happening everywhere. They are looking for ways to make extra money and to get healthier. So just to wrap it up, the entire close, remember, wrapped up in one sentence, which way sounds like the best fit for you right now? Okay, the more you hear yourself saying that, the more closing conversations you're having, and the more the odds are that you're going to build a massive team. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for all of you. I'm here in Tulum for because of so many of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't wait to be here with you or wherever we announce our AIT in December, but I can't wait to be poolside or beachside with all of you. So thanks for being on tonight. I'll make sure, um, Dawn, is it Dawn? Dawn, I'll make sure to get you those other 2 calls. I'll find out. Can you just tell me, Dawn, will you send me a message who you're connected to so I can make sure whoever you're connected to has the calls? Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a beautiful night. Thanks for being on. Take care. Bye.